What it is, y'all? Slim Reaper 256, manstudents.com. You know what it is. Bringing y'all some ranked gameplay, Super Bowl 47 matchup. So, how about we talk about Super Bowl 47? Super Bowl 40, the Super Bowl is going to be pretty good today. Like, for once, it's not a team playing that I fucking hate, so I'm going to enjoy watching this shit regardless. I like both teams a lot. San Francisco, just because I've been a Kaepernick fan for a while. Plus, I like the team. The only one I really didn't like was fucking Alex Smith. But the Ravens, I live, like I always say, I live in Baltimore, so I kind of got a soft spot for them anyway. And plus, both of the teams are ran like real similarly. Like, I'm just meaning like X's and O's wise. Like, it's gonna be a fun game to watch. But outside of like the Ray Lewis talk and all that shit, the other shit that makes it interesting is just like the other players in this game that I fuck with. At least for me, the other players in the game that I fuck with. Like, it makes it real interesting. Like my man Randy Moss. I'm a Randy Moss fan. I was pissed that he didn't come to Philly a long time ago. I figured that he would give us the big body, but down the field, you know what I mean, that we need. We got a bunch of 5'10" fucking receivers. But off for Eagles, I'm not even going to go into Eagles rant. Either way, Randy Moss, like I was saying, Randy Moss, what a lot of people aren't talking about is he's been so close to getting Super Bowls pretty much everywhere he's went. He's been close to getting a Super Bowl, but it's just some fluky shit happened. Whether it was that missed field goal in Minnesota, the David Tyree catching New England, any of that shit, you know what I mean? Now he's here, and he got him another chance. And like he said, he's the quote-unquote greatest receiver of all time. In my eyes, I wouldn't say that. I still think that still goes to Jerry, but what I can say is physically he's probably the most gifted of all time, minus maybe a Calvin Johnson. But rather than that, like, Randy Moss is that dude, you know what I mean? Even when he's slouching, he can catch one-handed touchdowns on 12 weeks. So you gotta fuck with Randy. Well, I do. Like I said, I like people who are real. They don't play for the camera and shit. Randy will tell you fuck you on camera and punch you in the face, and then give you the money in cash to pay for your lawsuit. That's my guy. But outside of him, also Mr. Rodney Dangerfield himself, Joe Flacco. I'm rooting for him a little bit in this game too, just because, like, had it been any other quarterback, he wouldn't be catching as much hell as Flacco does. And I hate how conveniently, like a lot of Baltimore fans that have gotten spoiled with him being here, how quick they've forgotten like what their quarterback play used to be like. I'm not saying like Flacco is Joe Montana, but he's light years ahead of what they had. Another guy who this would be big for is Vernon Davis. Yo has had a lot of shit happen in his career, like coaching changes, being benched on live TVs. There's a lot of stuff. But he's turned his character around. He's doing pretty good. And then of course my guy. You know, anybody who watches college knows what I was, or knows me, knows who I'm about to say next. Courtney motherfucking Upshaw, Roll Tide. Yo has a chance to win a BCS national championship and a Super Bowl in the same year. That's some big shit. Just think about that. Like how hard that shit would be to do, and how lucky he got. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think X's and O's wise, like on the field, outside of all of this ballyhooing, damn it, the whole right side just came in. Anyway, outside of all that, on the field, it's going to look good too, because it's pretty much the same team playing against itself outside of the quarterbacks, because one team has a scrambling quarterback with a cannon, and the other team has a quarterback that can't scramble but has a cannon. Honestly, I think this game is going to come down to whose secondary plays better, because I don't think that running the ball against either one of these teams is the way to go, especially now. The Ravens, maybe when Ellaby and Lewis was hurt, and Nada was just coming back off that knee injury and shit. But now, yeah, right. Try it if you want to. It's gonna be a long day, but I think that the only way, I think that whoever passes the ball better wins this game. I think that would be kind of a little bit tougher for. Oh, look at that catch. Jacoby. I think that would be a little bit tougher for the 49ers, only because they're only dressing 4 wide receivers. I mean, they've been doing it for a minute, ever since Manahan went out and Kyle Williams got hurt too. But that's tough, you know what I mean? Because Baltimore secondary, what they've done is they've gone to a lot more press. If you notice, they play a lot of Tampa too. They beat your receivers up off the line, and that's gotten them through the playoffs up until this point. Because none of the teams that they played had receivers that could consistently beat the press. And if they did, they would just double them. They would take that receiver, i.e. Demaryius Thomas, they would take that receiver away and dare you to beat them over the top or beat their press with anybody else, and it didn't work. The Patriots tried that little short pass and shit, you know, the West Coast shit, but the Ravens, they were physical with them. The way they did it, though, they just let them catch the ball and knock the shit out of them. Like, by the fourth quarter, they didn't want them no more. But if there's one team I think that can beat the Ravens press, is probably the 49ers, just off of the sheer size of their receivers. You figure you got Crabtree, who's a physical specimen, like he's a beast, but he's he ain't that tall. He's only 6'1", but he's 214. You know what I mean? Like, solid. You got Randy Moss, who's a fucking matchup nightmare. Like, I hope that Dean Pease doesn't show too many one-on-ones with Randy Moss, especially with the corners that he got out there. Like, it's one thing of trusting your corners, but it's another thing of being smart. I wouldn't do it myself, but Randy Moss, just to give you a gist of it, Jimmy Smith is the Ravens' biggest receiver. Jimmy Smith is the biggest corner on the Ravens, and he's 6'2" and 210. Randy Moss, 6'4", 210. You know what I mean? And the other thing is, like, if Jimmy Smith was on him, they wouldn't even really have to go up above him. I mean, go up top. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, go up above him. But they wouldn't really have to go up top like that. All you would have to do, if you did want to beat Jimmy Smith, the book's out on him. He can't guard a double move to save his life. And then Randy Moss, with his experience route running, it'll be serious. But rather than that, they got like AJ Jenkins. He's 6 foot 192, and then they got Ted Ginn, who's a burner, but he's smaller. She's only 5'11" and 180. I'm not really factoring in Vernon Davis just yet, because I think that they're gonna bracket Vernon Davis unless they're blitzing. But I'll get into that later. But just from the wide receivers and cornerback, I would say that the 49ers at first would have the advantage. I think that they have to jump out on them before the wide receivers get tired, though. Just because, like I said, they're only dressing 4. You're probably going to see Vernon Davis flexed out. You know what I mean? You're probably going to see a lot of 3 tight end sets. That's what I'm shooting for. That's what I think anyway. Because Garrett Selleck has came on, and you still got Delaney Walker. You know what I mean? And they need that depth. Because I'm telling you, playing with just 4 wide receivers is tough on any team. Let alone if you're going against the Ravens in the Super Bowl. And like I was saying earlier, I don't think that it's going to be too many running lanes. I know that San Francisco does a lot of misdirection shit, but I don't know how many times you're gonna fool a radius-led defense, especially in the Super Bowl. Like, it's gonna be tough. Another thing to watch out for is Aldon Smith, and whether or not his injury is gonna ail him. You also need to watch on Amaya Brooks. He's banged up. Paris Harrelson isn't playing. It's going to be tough. If anybody does get a chance to run the ball, I'm thinking it's Baltimore. I know I sound like a big homer right now, but it's just, I'm trying to look at it just from a pure personnel and X's and O's standpoint. You know what I mean? I'm not doing no intangible shit like, what if so-and-so wills their team to do this, and fuck all that. I'm just talking about X's and O's. I think San Francisco's best bet like I said, is to win the matchups out wide and force Baltimore to have to send people to, well, yeah, send pressure, like send blitzes. They have to send 5 or 6 to get after Kaepernick, because then that's when your tight ends come. You know what I mean? You get one-on-ones, and then that's when you get your big mismatch. You get Vernon Davis, 6'3", 250, on Ed Reed, or I hate to say it, but a Pollard, because Pollard's good, like if the player's in front of him, but Vernon gets behind him, cancel Christmas. You know what I mean? Same shit with Delaney Walker. Garrett Selleck can go, he's more of a possession receiver, but Delaney Walker, and I cannot believe I just gave this is bullshit. But Delaney Walker and Vernon Davis are your matchup nightmares, because they're tight ends that can fly. You know what I mean? And super fast. So I don't know. I think the way Baltimore needs to attack it, even though running is going to be tough sledding, I think that Baltimore should stay balanced. I think that they're going to have to like, I know that they want to throw it downfield, but they're going to have to get like a little bit of a running game going. You know what I mean? To get their downfield thing going, because the way San Francisco plays, which is, like I said, similar to Baltimore, they keep 2 high safeties and then lean a lot on their front 7. So beating them deep is going to be tough unless you split the safeties. You know what I mean? Catching them in a cover 2 or cover 4 look and you split the safeties. But it's going to be tough. So Baltimore is going to have to try harder, I think, to run the ball than the 49ers are. Like I said, I think the 49ers is going to be more about winging it, because I just don't see them running the ball no way. Which I think plays right into Baltimore's hands, or any strong defensive hands, right? Well, for that matter. And is why I'm picking them to win. I got Baltimore winning 27-20. I think that San Francisco will make it interesting. Matter of fact, I'm thinking San Francisco will probably score the first touchdown. But I think that the injuries and Baltimore's lack of is what's going to wind up winning this game for them. Unless it's like a mid-game injury, but taking that out, let's just saying, like, matchup right now, just the matchup right now, I think that it's going to come down to the fact that Baltimore has got more depth. I don't think that the 49ers will be able to keep up that high pace like they do, well, like they've been doing. You know what I mean? That high octane offense. I don't think that they're going to be able to, like, keep it going like the way that they did before with against other teams. I think Baltimore, as good as Baltimore has been playing, and then offensively too, I think Baltimore, after San Francisco scores that first touchdown, I got Baltimore going on a little run, you know what I mean, and taking away that run heavy aspect. And we saw what happens when you take away the run, like, from them when Seattle played San Francisco. But and again, I'm just a Madden player. I'm probably wrong on this, but that's just my 2 cents. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all agree, disagree, or whatever. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, your first time here, hit that subscribe button. If you are a recent, or if you're a subscriber already, hit the like button. I ain't got too much more to say. It's your boy Slim Reaper 256 signing off.
That's right. It's all about me, and it would have been if I could have just got you to be quiet for a few minutes. But it's awesome to win in a game that's featured in everybody in the